Okay, let's talk about terms of payment. So any idea what is terms of payment, or by the term terms of payment, what does it indicates? Terms of payment, as I was saying, is just the general terms and conditions that you agree with the, not that the business agrees with the vendor related to the payment. So for saying terms of payment are the conditions or the terms related to the payment on the invoices that you agree with the vendor, or the vendor and the business agree. So it can be for a specific invoice, or it can be for all the invoices that we do with the vendor. So it would indicate a specific day on which the invoice falls due, or maybe a specific day on which all the invoices fall due with that particular vendor, or any payment schedules if applicable. So that can also be done directly through um, this one, the terms of payment that you define. So Dynamic provides you few options of defining terms of payments. So let's see how you can define different terms of payments in Dynamics. So as I told you, I took you to accounts payable, payment setup, and terms of payment here. If you click here on terms of payment, you will get open, this page will get opened. So it's an empty page, terms of payment. If you click on before I select anything, I can see some methods here, payment methods. As you can see, net method, current month, current quarter, current year, current week, cash on delivery, cutoff day. So we'll see all of them. Okay, first let us see this one, cash on delivery. Cash on delivery, or COD, can write it one. So what does it mean by cash on delivery? It means once you receive the goods, you will pay you will pay them directly. Or once you receive the invoice, you will pay them directly. So there won't be any long due date on this kind of invoices. So if you are agreeing a terms of payment with a vendor like cash on delivery, whenever the invoice is reached to your office, you have to pay the amount. So if you are making a cash payment, you can enable this one option, and you can give your cash account here. So it doesn't really affect in anything as financially, but you can, just for representation sake, you can enable it as cash payment and give it as cash account here. So months, days, payment schedules, payment days are not applicable in this scenario actually, since cash on delivery doesn't really have any conditions. It's only one condition, so no 0 months and 0 days, because you don't have any more options. I mean, due date cannot be postponed. Once the invoice is received, you have to straightly pay. So I'm selecting 00 for all months and days. Okay, so how to apply this on particular invoice journal? I'll just create one invoice journal here to show you how the due dates vary. So I'll go here and go to lines and create a single invoice where I can change the terms of payment multiple times and show you how the due dates vary. Let me take one Tata company. Suppose invoice date I'll select as 1st of November. So GNV something I'll give. Credit the vendor for $1,000. Then select the offset account. Some expense account I'll select. Something like miscellaneous expense. Okay. And I'll save it. See, regardless of your posting date, so you're posting it on today's date, invoice date is 1st of November. And you can see here the due date is by default 1st of November. When you do not apply any terms of payment, the invoice date by default will be the due date. You can change it if you want to manually. Suppose you can change it to 1st of November, right? So you can change it to 30th of November manually. You can change it manually, but that's not the point here. So if I would apply terms of payment like cash on delivery, which I created, see automatically it turns to 1st of January. So let's assume that this invoice is being posted on 1st of November itself. Okay. So it doesn't really matter which date you are posting. What matters is the invoice date. So depending on the invoice date, this terms of payment due date and cash discount will be calculated. Or cash discount date will be calculated. So we'll come back to that point in a while. When you see here terms of payment, when you apply cash on delivery, since the invoice date is 1st of November and your due date will also falls on 1st of November. So as soon as you receive the invoice, you have to pay the invoice. So that's what this uh, cash on delivery indicates. Let's see the other method in terms of payment. We'll click on new. I'll use this one. At 30 days. 30 days is the time that my vendor is giving for payment of invoices. So the payment method I will select is net here. Okay. And it's not months, it's days. So I'll select 30 days in the net 30 days option. So you can see net 30 days, net 30 days. Nothing else I've selected here. I'll save it. The same way I'll also select something else. Net 5 days. Net 5 days. I'll also create something net 2 months. Net 2 months. If it is net 2 months, I don't have to give any days here. I'll give months as 2 here. So here net 2 months. Payment method is net. Methods months is 2. Whereas it comes to net 30. Select payment method as net and 30 days here. No, months is 0. For 5 days, selected net and months is 0, but days I forgot to select it. So I'll select 5. Sorry for that. These are the 3 I have created now using this payment method net. So let's see how we can apply it to the invoice. So now if I go here, select net 30 days, so I can see them in the list now as since they are created. Net 30 days. So what happened once I select net 30 days, due date is taken as 1st December 2021. It will leave 30 days from here. So for starting from 1 to November 30, 30 days are eliminated and the due date falls on 1st December 2021. Suppose if I select another due date, it's another terms of payment like net 5 days, as you can see here. Select net 5 days, you see due date is falling on 6th November. So invoice date plus 5 days. So 1 plus 5 is 6. So 6th November 2021 is the due date, as you can see here. Which means you are liable to pay the vendor on this particular invoice on or before 6th of November. That's what it indicates. You can select this one now, net 2 months. Suppose if I select net 2 months, you can see here 2 months will be given as due date. 1st January 2022 is the due date. So 2 months is eliminated. November month and December month are eliminated. And you can see 1st January 2022 is the due date. Suppose if I change the invoice date here, something like 3rd of November. So you can see the due date is also changing to 3rd of January 2022. So net 2 months after the invoice date will be due date will be falling on that date. So clear is it for all of you? I mean how this net terms of payment is working. Let's go back and create something else. So I'll save this. I'll create one more. Click on new. I'll select another method. Current month method. See here you can see current month. Okay, I'll select current month. So current month plus 10 days I'll select. Current month plus 10 days. So I can give here nothing else. So current month I selected, 10 I have given here. So this indicates that Leaving current month in which the invoice posted, another 10 more months will be given for the payment. So whenever, whichever date you post the invoice in this month, you don't have to pay in this month. On the next month, 10th, you have to pay it. Or 10 days after this month, you have to pay it. That's the scenario here. So let me try to apply this here on this invoice. Suppose I'll change it back to 1st of November again for just better understanding. I'll give apply it here. Current month plus 10 days. See here. The due date is 10th of December 2021. December 10th, 2021. Current month plus 10 days. Leaving November plus another 10 days is the due date. Suppose if you post the invoice on, invoice date is changed to something like 11th of November, even though the due date will not change because it doesn't matter in which date you are posting the invoice on in that month. So if you are posting the invoice in November month, whole month will be left over and another 10 days will be given as grace days or for the calculation of due date. So 10th of December will be the due date. Suppose if I select 30th of November also, 10th of December will be the due date. Okay, whenever you post in any month, in this particular month on any day you post the invoice, that current month plus 10 days will be the due date. So that's what is the terms of payment we have created. For suppose if I select this on 30th of October, the invoice date. So what will be the due date, guys? I'm sorry, I lost you. If I select invoice date as 30th of October, what will be the due date? So it should be current month plus 10 days. Select 30th October 2021. November 10th will be the due date. Correct. So leaving the October month, next 10 days, current month plus 10 days will be the due date. Suppose if I select the invoice date as 1st of December, then what will be the due date? So January 10th will be the due date. Suppose if I select here any date in December, December plus another 10 days. So 10th of January will be the due date. So that is how this current month plus days work. So if you want current month plus 15 days, you can keep current month and here you can give 15 days. Or you can create one more terms of payments, current month plus 15 days. Up to you. No need to give month here again. So it's already current month plus you can give number of days that you want. In the same way we have the other methods like current quarter, current year, current week and all. So let us discuss this current week one. Current week plus 2 days. Current week plus 2 days. Regardless of whatever it is, you have to pay on Monday, I think. So current week, I am giving it as 2 days. Okay. So I'm saving it. Now let me go here, change the invoice date to 1st of November again for the example's sake. And I'm giving it here as current week plus 2 days. See, it is taking automatically 8th of November 2021. Let's see how it is. See, 1st of November is on Monday. It will leave all the days in that week until the first week. You can see right in this line, you can see calendar, first week is left over. So second day in the month, second day in the next week is 8th. Sunday is the first day, Monday is the second day. So regardless of any date that you select in this week, next Monday will be your due date, 8th. Current week plus 2 days that you have set. Suppose if I change this date to 3rd of November, even though I have it on 8th of November only due date. See, in this week, if I select any date, so that complete week will be left over and another 2 days will be added for the due date. So if I select 3rd of November is the invoice date here, that week, another Thursday, Friday, Saturday is left over and next week, Sunday, Monday will be the due date. As you can see, 2 days. Suppose if I does the invoice on the same day, like on 8th of uh, here, 8th of that, what I say? 8th of the November, as you can see here. So again, the due date will fall into next week, 15th of November. If I select, if I does it on 7th is also in the next week, as you can see here. 7th is Sunday. If I does it on 7th also, 15th will be the due date. That week will be left over. The next week, second day will be the due date. 15th November 2021 is the due date. So that's how this current week plus 2 days works. Clear, guys, for all of you. Then you have current quarter plus current year. So both of them will work in the same way. Current quarter means it will leave 3 months, or in that quarter, like that quarter means for January, February and March. So if it is in that quarter, it will leave that quarter and next month will be the due date. So I can also show you that one. Current quarter plus, let's say 10 days again. Current quarter plus 10 days. Current quarter is here. Select 10 here, suppose. Then go in. Let's suppose I'm doing this invoice on 1st of October. Okay. October, November, December is a quarter. We know that. So let me apply this current quarter plus 10 days. See here, when I select 1st of October as the invoice date, now January 10th, 2022 will be the due date. So current quarter plus 10 days. October, November, December is the quarter. It will leave the quarter and the plus another 10 days in January 10th will be the due date. Suppose if I change the invoice date to something in October again, so the due date won't change. It's all in the same quarter. If I select November 10th, the due date is same. If I select December 31st, then also the due date is same. 10th of January 2022. So regardless of whatever day you invoice on the in this quarter, it will leave the entire quarter and another 10 days will be the due date given to the business. Suppose if I select the same on September 1st, see here October 10th will be the due date because July, August and September is another quarter, right? So accordingly it will alter the due date. So January, February, March is one quarter. April, May, June is one quarter. July, August and September is third quarter. October, November and December is fourth quarter that you have defined in your fiscal calendar. Okay, according to that only it will calculate the due date. Hope it is clear for you. Current quarter plus 10 days. In the same way we have current year, so it will leave the entire year and keep the due date in the next year. So I'm not showing you this example. You try it and let me know if you have any confusion in this current week, current year one. Other than this, I have one more option called as cutoff day. Here I can see cutoff day. So this is most prominent cutoff day. So I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I should not select it here. I'll create one more. So this is current week plus 10 days, right? Okay. I'll select new one. So I can select one cutoff day option here. So terms of payment, I can say you can give cutoff on 10th. So here in the cutoff day, I can give this payment day first. So payment day I'll give 15th of every month. Okay, and I'll give cutoff day as 10th. So this is a scenario where if you create an invoice after 15th, next month 10th will be the due date. Sorry, if you create an invoice before 10th, I'm sorry for that. So it's like we have a calendar in which you have a month. Suppose if I create according to the my payment day, if I create invoice on 1st of this month, 15th should be the due date, right? If I create the invoice on 2nd of this month, then also 15th should be the due date. 15th should be the due date. 3rd of this month, then also 15th should be the due date because I am saying that 15th day of the month I am paying. Suppose if I create an invoice on 16th of November, next month 15 will be the due date. or if I create any invoice on any of the other date other than 15, then next month 15 will be the due date. So not this month 15. In the same manner, I can keep a cutoff day saying that if I does the if a cutoff day I gave it as 10 here, as you can see. If I does the invoice in this month on or before 10th or before 10th from 1 to 9, if I create invoice, due date will be falling in this month. This month 15 will be the due date. If I does the invoice after 10th or invoice date is after 10th, then the due date will fall into next month 15. So 15th day is common, but this month 15 or next month 15 will be decided by the cutoff day. If you post invoice on or before this date, the payment day will be 15th, or later of this day, the payment day will be next month 15th, not this month 15th. So that's how the cutoff day works. Let me show you how it work. So I selected save. So 15th cutoff day I'm selecting. Okay. Then what I'll select is go to vendor invoice journal. The invoice date I'll select as November 1st for suppose November 1st, and I'll show you the cutoff 10th. So if I select November 1st, the due date is 15th November 2021. So 15th only. If I select 3rd of November, then also it's 15th November 2021 only. But suppose if I select 11th of November, the due date is falling into 15th of December 2021. So that's how. So due date falls into next month because the cutoff day is 10th. Suppose if I select 10th, it is November 15th only. So on or before 10th, if you are making an invoice in this month, the due date will be falling into 15th of this month only. But if you select any other day later than 10th as the invoice date, so due date will fall into the next month. Next month 15th will be the due date. So that's how it is until the next month 10th. If you are posting any invoice, it will be 15th of December only. But if you are posting the invoice again on 11th of December, again it will change to 15th of January. So that 10th will be the cutoff date for posting invoices and the due date calculation. So that is what we call as cutoff day method. Clear, guys? Not so prominent in the terms of interview, but while you go into the business, clients might come up with lot of scenarios. It will, what I would say, like this kind of flexibility that you have in this system. So it will allow you to create any kind of terms of payment as per the requirement of the client. So that's how. So this cutoff day option is also one of it. So the thing that we left over is actually few of things we have left over. This payment schedule is one we have left over, and default terms of payment. So you can make something as a default terms of payment. See, net 30 days is right. If you keep it as default terms of payment for all the new vendors that we are going to create, automatically this will be the default terms of payment or automatically applied as default terms of payment. Okay, it's up to you. But and I don't want to keep it as default because I'll assign it separately for each vendor. Then you can also create one more actually using the payment schedule. See, we have a payment schedule yesterday we have defined, right? Which payment schedule we have defined yesterday? Let me duplicate this tab. We've defined specific payment schedule, 3-month schedule and all, right? So let me see. Go to accounts payable, payment schedules. So we have defined fixed quantity, 3 months we have defined for, or we have few of them. So let me select this one, fixed quantity 3 months, for example, fixed quantity 3 months. So I'm going into this, selecting fixed quantity 3 months here, just giving a name. I'm selecting net method and I'm directly selecting a payment schedule, fixed quantity 3 months. Nothing else I'm selecting. See, not due date, anything, not, I'm not selecting anything else. Only I'm selecting method of payment method as net, and payment schedule I have given here as yesterday's payment schedule that I have created. Fixed quantity 3 month schedule I have selected here. Now I can apply the same on the invoice journal actually. So starting from 1st of November. If I say this one, payment schedule, FQ 3 months. So due date, it will show as today's date only because we did not give any days in the net. But however, this invoice will be divided into three equal parts. So whatever that I was assuming. Let me post this invoice and see if how this payment schedule will be applied. So it is posted, as you can see, with application of this payment schedule. Now let me take you to vendor transactions. This vendor, right? Transactions. So I can see this one, invoice number 47. Okay. So we posted for 1st of November, $1,000. Let me make a payment journal. Payment journal for the same. Create a new journal. Select vendor payment. Go to lines. Let it be anything. Select a vendor. Tata company. And go to settle transactions here to select the invoice. So there is invoice number 47 is here. So I was thinking we should apply the payment schedule to this one, or there should be a payment schedule already applied according to me, but it's not applying though. Well, this is the invoice that we posted right for 1st of November. Okay, we have applied a payment schedule, but in the terms of payment itself, I have applied a payment schedule, but it's not applying. So this should be the selection actually. Other than this, what else we have? Let me do something else. We paid on 1st of December. Settle transactions. Select this invoice. Click on OK. It's bringing net 1,000 for payment at a time. I was thinking that it should be break this into three equal parts or apply the payment schedule automatically. There is that feasibility. Not sure why it's not working. So let me take net 90. Okay, net 3 months. 3 months. Okay, net 3 months. And then the payment schedule of 3 months. Let's see if this will work on a invoice journal. I'll just quickly create one invoice journal. First of November, maybe 48 should be the one. Credit him for $1,200 and offset account will be an expense account. something. Terms of payment is, where is this net 90? And I save this 3 months, right? Okay. Net 3 months. Okay. Now I can see due date is 1st of February 2022. Alright. Save it. I don't see any other option to apply this payment schedule here itself. Not even here. Then I'll try to post it for the 1st of November itself. Post it. Posted. Vendor payments. I'll delete this payment and create once again. New. Okay, 12th of December. Select Tata company. Settle transactions. Invoice number 48 is here. Okay. But payment schedule is not here. Settlement. It's not showing the payment schedule actually. Let me check it once again with another method, or it could be a bug in this version. Normally the payment schedule can also be directly applied through this terms of payment. Usually can apply it and it will automatically gets applied during the terms of payment automatically, but here it is taking straight away this $1,200 for payment. But I was assuming that it should divide this fixed quantity 3 months using this payment schedule option. Let me check this again in the new version and get back to you. Other than this, rest all is clear, right, for today. I mean, in this terms of payment concept.